Welcome to Simply Debbie Sue's Southern Whispers. Step into a world where front porches hold secrets, faith carries folks through the hardest days, and the mountains whisper stories only the heart can hear. I invite you into tender moments, gentle humor, and the kind of Southern warmth that feels just like home. Welcome in, friends. I'm so glad you're back today for another story. I have a heartwarming story prepared for you today, and I hope you'll enjoy it. So let's get into the introduction. Some blessings don't arrive with fanfare. They slip into our days the way a soft breeze slips through a cracked window, quiet, unnoticed at first, but carrying something holy. This story grew from one of those tender moments, the kind that reminds us that God's care is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it comes feather light, perched right where we'll see it if we slow down long enough to look. This story is called The Sparrow at the Window. The week had started with a heaviness Katie couldn't quite name. She was only 8, but even children can feel when the air in a home is tight with worry. Her mama's smile seemed thinner. Her daddy's footsteps seemed slower. Katie tried to be brave, but her little heart felt like a jar filled too full. On Monday morning, she woke before the sun. A pale gray light hovered outside her curtains. She pattered across the cool wooden floor and pulled the fabric aside, and there it was. A tiny sparrow, feathers fluffed against the chill, perched right on her windowsill. It blinked at her, unbothered, as if it had been waiting. Katie gasped softly. "Well, hello." The bird didn't fly away. It simply tilted its head, studying her with bright, bead-like eyes. Katie felt something loosen in her chest, just a little. The next morning, the sparrow returned, and the next. By Wednesday, Katie was waking up excited, rushing to her window before her feet were fully awake. Each time, the sparrow was there, steady, calm, faithful. That Wednesday afternoon, Katie trudged home from school with her backpack dragging low. She missed 2 spelling words again, and her teacher had written a note for her parents to sign. Her eyes stung with embarrassment. She didn't want to disappoint anyone. When she got home, she found her mama folding laundry in the living room. "Mama," Katie asked, her voice small. "Yes, baby. Do you think do you think God ever checks on people? Like, just to make sure they're okay?" Her mama paused, hands resting on a warm stack of towels. She knelt down so she could look Katie in the eyes. "What makes you ask that?" Katie hesitated, then whispered, "There's been a little bird on my window every morning. The same one, I think. He just sits there and looks at me. I think, I think he's checking on me." Her mama's face softened, and she pulled Katie close. "Sweet girl, sometimes the Lord sends small reminders that he sees you. They don't always come in big ways. Sometimes they come with feathers, or a kind word, or a sunrise that feels like a hug." Katie leaned into her mama's shoulder, letting the warmth soak into her. "I like my bird," she murmured. "I think he likes you too," her mama said. That night, Katie slept easier. On Thursday morning, she woke to a soft tapping, tiny claws on the windowsill. She hurried over, and the sparrow hopped closer, so close she could see the delicate pattern of brown and cream on its wings. She pressed her palm to the glass. "Thank you for coming back," she whispered. The sparrow chirped once, a bright, cheerful sound that made Katie smile for the first time in days. Later that afternoon, Katie overheard her parents talking again. They were at the kitchen table, voices low, papers spread out. Katie didn't understand the numbers, but she understood the worry. Her daddy rubbed his forehead. Her mama sighed. Katie slipped away quietly, heart sinking. She wished she could help. She wished she could make everything better. Friday morning arrived with a soft pink glow stretching across the mountains. Katie woke early, excitement fluttering in her chest. She hurried to the window, but this time the sparrow wasn't perched. It was standing, wings half open, as if ready for something. "Are you leaving?" Katie whispered. The sparrow chirped, hopped once, then lifted into the air. Its wings caught the morning light, turning them gold as it rose higher and higher. Katie watched until it disappeared over the ridge, swallowed by the sunrise. Her heart squeezed, but then unexpectedly it warmed. She felt braver, stronger, like something inside her had settled into place. She remembered her mama's words. Sometimes the Lord sends small reminders that He sees you. Katy pressed her hand to the window, the glass cool beneath her palm. I'm okay, she whispered. I really am. And in that quiet moment, Matthew 10:31 bloomed in her heart like a promise she finally understood. Fear ye not therefore. Ye are of more value than many sparrows. So the reflection of this week's story is God's care often arrives in the smallest packages. A bird on the windowsill, a verse that rises to the surface at just the right moment, a whisper of peace when our hearts feel tangled. Katy Sparrow wasn't just a bird. It was a reminder stitched straight from heaven, a gentle nudge that she was seen, known, and held. When our own days feel heavy, it helps to remember that the same God who watches over the sparrows watches over us with even greater tenderness. His eye is on every detail of our lives, even the ones we think are too small to matter. And just like Katy, we can lift our eyes, breathe deep, and trust that we are worth more than we know, cherished, protected, and never forgotten. I hope you enjoyed that story this week, and I hope you come back next week for another one. May these stories that I have written wrap around you like a well-loved quilt. May they remind you that God is near, hope is steady, and joy often comes softly, like a whisper on a southern breeze.